Getting in your own way. Over 5 years ago, Rocksolid held its first meeting in a hotel. Jane Thomas was a guest pastor at the service. I remember her saying, "You are standing in your own way." Genesis 25 tells the story of Isaac and Rebekah having a set of twin sons. While Rebekah was pregnant with her twins, God revealed to her that she was carrying two nations within her womb, and that each child would become the leader of a separate nation. One nation would be stronger than the other, and the older child would serve the younger. The firstborn was named Esau, and the second child was named Jacob. At birth, Jacob was holding on to Esau's heel as if he was trying to keep Esau from being born first. The two were very different. Esau was reddish and his body was covered with hair. Jacob, on the other hand, had smooth skin. Esau was favored by his father Isaac, and Jacob was favored by Rebekah. As the boys grew, Esau became a clever hunter, spending his days in the fields with his bow. Jacob worked near the tents. One day, Esau came from the field from hunting, and he was very hungry. Jacob had cooked a delicious stew. Esau agreed to trade his birthrights with Jacob for a bowl of stew. In those days, certain blessings and privileges came with the birthright. It was passed down by the father to the oldest son. Esau, Jacob's oldest son, was entitled to the birthright. Esau said to Jacob, "I am so hungry. What good is a birthright if I am dead?" How hungry could Esau have been? It does not say how long Esau had been in the fields hunting, but was he starving to death? I don't think so. "Promise me your birthright," Jacob said to Esau, and Esau promised, trading his birthright with his brother Jacob. Esau cared more for food than he did his birthright. Why? Did Esau know what his birthright meant? I'm sure he did. The birthright allowed the firstborn son a double portion of the parental inheritance. He became the priest of the family, and he inherited the judicial authority of his father. That's a lot of responsibility for a hunter. Esau ate the stew and went on his way. Years passed, and Isaac grew old. His health had declined, and his eyesight was almost gone. He didn't know how much longer he would live, but he knew it wasn't going to be long. As senior member of the family, Isaac had the right to give the birthright and special blessing to his children. One day, Isaac called his son Esau, the oldest son, to his bedside and told him to go hunting and make him a good tasting meat, a stew. Esau left to go hunting. Rebekah overheard Isaac's conversation with Esau and ran to tell Jacob what she had heard. God revealed to Rebekah that Jacob was to receive the birthright, but Rebekah knew how much Isaac loved his oldest son and wanted to give the birthright blessing to Esau. Esau had not always made right choices. He had rejected the teaching of his parents and married a Canaanite. Rebekah knew by inspiration that Jacob should receive the birthright blessing. Rebekah convinced Jacob to cook a stew for Isaac while Esau was out hunting and to disguise himself as Esau. So Jacob did as he was told by his mother Rebekah. When Jacob approached Isaac, who was nearly blind, Isaac said, "Who are you?" Jacob replied, "I am your son Esau." But Isaac was not convinced, so he asked him to come closer so he could touch him. Jacob had covered his hand with hair and approached Esau, and Jacob had covered his hands with hair to appear to be Esau. Jacob served his father the stew he had prepared. After Isaac had eaten all he wanted, he told Jacob to come and kiss him. When Jacob had knelt and kissed Isaac, Isaac smelled Esau's clothing and felt satisfied that it was Esau. He laid his hand on Jacob's head and blessed him with the birthright, which Esau had traded for a bowl of stew. Soon after, Esau returned and also prepared a stew for Isaac. When Esau went to feed Isaac the stew, Isaac asked, "Who are you?" And Esau said, "I am Esau, your firstborn." Isaac asked, "Then who gave me stew earlier?" Isaac then realized that he had blessed Jacob instead of Esau. Esau wept. Esau had lost the blessing that could have been his because he had not lived to be worthy of them. He begged his father to give him but one blessing. Isaac laid his hand on Esau's head and blessed him that he would live by the sword and would serve his brother. Genesis 27:39. Your dwelling will be away from the earth richness and away from the dew of heaven above. You will live by the sword and you will serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you will throw the yoke from off your neck. Isaac was telling Esau that yes, you will live by the sword. Yes, you will serve your brother. But when you decide to break the yoke off of your neck of whatever's holding you in bondage, then you will prosper. Isaac broke the yoke because the Bible says that when Esau saw Jacob and Jacob offered Esau riches, Esau refused the gift from Jacob, but Jacob insisted that Esau accept his gifts. The yoke. What yoke do you have to break? What's standing in your way? Are broken dreams, broken promises, broken heart, unforgiveness, hatred, low self-esteem, anxiety, shame standing in your way? If you don't deal with it, it would deal with you. When you come to realize that you are enough, then you can break the yoke. Don't get in your own way. The only thing that needs to change is your decision. The moment you decide to let it go, whatever it is, the moment you decide to let it go, it has to let you go. You are the key to the change. Can't nobody stop you but you.